Oh, Casper, should I put a rug on you? Oh my. I've just spotted my pony. I've turned out naked last night and we're going to Dressage this morning. Oh, Casper, should I put a rug on you? Oh well, we've got about 2 hours before I want to leave, maybe more, probably 2.5, maybe 3. I don't really know what time is, nor do I know what time I want to leave. Probably want to leave about 11:30. I don't know. I'm very relaxed today. We're going to a new... Oh my goodness. This side's better than the other side. We're going to a new venue, one very, very local to home. I think it's probably 10 minutes away. Look at you. Oh my, Casper. I like you've got a bit of a sore lip. Look at that, can you see? You've got a buttercup burn on your lip. Yeah, we're going to a new venue just down the road to do the same 2 dressage tests as I did a couple of weeks ago. Hopefully we can improve on our score, especially at novice. Oh, look, you can see where he rolled. He's still molting. Like, do you see all his white hair? Yeah, right, come on, let's get you in and get you a feed. Disgusting pony. Serious bath time needed. I was half thinking that because it's unaffiliated, even though last time I said I don't like going to competitions unplatted and unpresentable, I was half thinking of just giving him a really good brush, but that's not going to happen now. Oh, how I wish I had a bay. It's a bit better, isn't it? Not perfect. He will dry a bit cleaner. This bit, I'm pretty sure I should say it every time, but it's just stained. Cannot get it clean. So I do sometimes chalk that. I'm not going to chalk it today. I actually conditioned his tail today. And put a bit of blue powder in it, so it's a bit cleaner. Still got some dirty bits running through it, but definitely better than it was. Hey? I'm going to let you drip dry because it's so nice and warm, and then plait you up. We are all ready to go. I feel like I haven't updated the vlog because I'm also trying to do a TikTok vlog, and it's confusing me what I film for YouTube and what I film for TikTok. But we're off. He's main platted. If I have time, I'll do a tail plait when we get there. He's got his travel boots on behind so he doesn't poop on himself, and he's looking very sparkling white, aren't you? Arrived. Right next to Toasty. Hey Toast. I'm glad Toast is platted because actually no other horse is platted. So yeah.
Hang on, I'm getting changed.
Oh, hello. So I thought I would give you my reactions for the test instead of reading through my score sheet, as the judge was very lovely but didn't leave many critical comments. So the indoor arena was quite hard to judge where the centre line was because you don't get to go outside the arena to come in. You're just turning inside the arena. So I am slightly to the right of the centre line, or the left, depends how you look at it, down there. But I think he entered quite nice and straight. Then we go, I think it's a circle here, yeah. So I thought he was working over his back very nicely. You can see he's tracking up very well. His head's in a very nice position. I'd like my hands to be a bit stiller. I think they're not moving too much in terms of left and right, but they're definitely moving up and down quite a lot. And then we come, I actually have no idea where this test goes, and it was only a couple of days ago that I did it. Oh yeah, the wonky centre line. So he comes around here. I think he bends very nicely, although his head did come up slightly as I turned onto the centre line, but he was very straight. And then we come and do the circle on the other rein. Again, I think he's working very nicely over his back. His head is staying fairly consistent. And he just looks actually a very pretty picture. I did think the judge was being overly kind when she was saying he looked very nice. But I think he does. That I might just be biased. You guys might disagree, but I think he looks very pretty. I think he looks fairly balanced. He's bending nicely. He's going straight where I want him to. He's not finding this weird centre line and corner too difficult. And then I believe we come and go to walk in that corner there. Yes, so I think I had the comment irregular rhythm here. That's because I was slowing him up. Yeah, there you go. Slowed him right up so that his walk on a free rein looked more impressive. Which, I mean, it worked because he got a 9 for this. I think the first half wasn't quite so good, but from here on, he really stretches. He's taking huge, big steps, and he does the movement very nicely, and he comes back into a medium walk surprisingly well. I did want to shorten his stride again, just to show that big difference between the long walk on a free rein and the medium walk. Then in the corner, we go up to trot, and then I believe in the next corner we go up to canter. So sadly I'm below the people watching, so you can't actually see too much, which is a real shame, but I think he's cantering quite nicely. He still needs to be sat back on his hocks a bit more, I think. He does look a bit on the forehand, but he is quite nice and steady in the contact, and he just needs to go a bit more forward. However, that was a very unbalanced transition, I think. Then we change the rein. Quite a nice change of rein. His nose is a little above the bit, but could be worse. And then we canter, and I believe we do a circle this end. Yeah. So again, just sat a little bit more back on his hocks. He's working nicely over his back, and he's quite nicely on the bit, but it would be good if he was just sat back up a little bit more. He looks quite downhill. I think that transition looked better, but I don't know if it was the angle or the transition. Then he did a really lovely straight centre line, but we lost a couple of marks here because it should have been walk, then halt, and Casper was just like, nope, we're going to halt. First test all done. Very happy with Caspies. Quite a nice test. I haven't watched it back yet, but I think it was quite nice. It was very obedient. He was slightly more long in the contact than I would like, but I think it was quite nice. It's too hot. It's too hot to ask him to do too much. But then we have the novice test again in about half an hour. So I just got off, had a drink. I've got a headache. And then, I'll get him back off, have a little wander around, and go in for the novice. He did, when he went in for the prelim, he had something in his ears which he was shaking about, but I managed to sort that out before we started again. I think it's the flies. I think he needs, in the hot weather, he needs his ears on, which I'm very good at forgetting. But yeah, very pleased with that test. So, test number 2. This is the Novice 1 test. I came off the other rein because we were turning this way at the end, if that makes sense. I think I made the right marker at A and I turned nicely, but I do think he drifted slightly on that centre line. And then we come around here. I believe we go all the way to the end and then do a 3-loop serpentine. I think he's trotting very nicely at the moment. He's not too on the forehand. He's got a nice big open step. He's swinging very nicely through the back. he changes his bend very nicely that way, but I have a feeling he's not quite so smooth this way. Actually, I changed my mind. That was very nice. He's very smooth, actually. A nice canter transition. We do a circle in the middle. Again, just needs to sit on his hocks a bit more. Maybe have a slightly bigger canter, but it is so hard to do in such a small arena. And I was also preparing for the 15-metre circle back to the track. So I was keeping his canter quite short to make sure he was able to keep balanced. Which he loses a slight bit of balance there, but I think he does it quite nicely. And he actually comes back to trot very nicely there as well. Then we go straight into a 3-loop serpentine from that end. And again, he's got a lovely big trot. His head's quite nice and steady. Slightly tense, changing the bend there, but I think he still looks very smart. Again, I just need to keep my hands stiller. They're sort of going with me, going up and down, rather than sitting there looking very pretty. That was a lovely smooth canter transition from Casper there. I think this rein he actually is better on, even though I hate the left rein, because it is the one he can play up on if he's feeling fresh. He does go nicer, and I'm not too sure why. Maybe because I push him on forwards, because if he's going forwards he's less likely to put a bronc in, and I've got that in my head. I don't know, but again, we just keep the balance. I think he's actually more balanced on that rein than he was on the 15-metre circle the other rein. Then we do a medium trot across the diagonal, which he does show some steps there of medium trot. Again, we still need to work on that. That is his only 3rd time doing that in a test. So we need to work on that to show a bit more power, but it is only show some medium trot steps, not the whole movement is medium trot. Then he gets another 9 in this one for his free walk on a long rein. He is just stretching really well. He's swinging through the back. Yeah, it just looks very nice, taking lovely big steps, and he comes back to me very nicely. I had an old horse that would do the lovely free walk but go so tense in the medium walk, whereas Casper does come to medium walk very politely. Then we trot and do a half circle of stretchy trot, which again he does very nicely. He could take the contact down a little bit further if I was being fussy, but I think for doing it in the test for the 2nd time, I'm very pleased with how he does it. Then we are trotting down the centre line. I don't know if we're at a funny angle, because again, that looks like I drifted down the centre line, but I'm sure I didn't. But very, very pleased with that test as well. 2nd test all done. I think he tensed up a little bit in there, but it was a very pleasing test, and won both tests. And we got a 9 for a walk in both of them, which is amazing, and an 8 for a halt in the second one. And that's a 7.5. So this is a 74.8, and the other one was a 74.2, I think. So yeah, very, very pleased with that. Now to get the hot boy off home, we've got a little support crew on the ramp. And yeah, very pleased. Once again, didn't do a vlog debrief on the day, so thought I'd come do one now. It's about 25 degrees, but also raining, so quite unpleasant because I'm here in a dress, but I didn't want my legs to get wet. I'm also here in white trainers, which is not ideal for poo pecking. Easy at Casby's, but I thought it was going to be dry, and I don't know if you can tell by the state of this man, it's not been dry today. But yeah, so we went to Dressage. He was fantastic. I thought he was going to be a little bit more buzzy. He worked very nicely for me, to be fair, but he wasn't what he usually does. These two are Casper's girlfriends. and he does not leave this corner of the paddock because that is the only way he can see them. But yes, so he worked very, very nicely. I think the first test was out of about 10 people or so, and the judge was very lovely, not super critical, which I might, if I go again next time, I might just say, I don't care about rosettes, I'd like you to be more critical, or just let me know where I can gain like those extra marks. He obviously got 2 9s for his free walks both time, which is incredible. He did actually do some really nice free walks, which was nice because I know he's got it in there. I don't know if it made a difference because it was in an indoor that he wasn't as joggy as he can be, but then when we went to Dutchy, it was indoor. So cute. Oh, is that your boyfriend Magic? Are you going out to the field? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if the indoor made a difference or not. I think made him a lot more rideable because he knew where the edge of the arena was. It was a lot more obvious. So it wasn't like he was preparing to steady on the corners rather than trying to pull him around the corners. You're breathing right in my ear hole. Oh. Yeah, well, I mean, you're no longer in my ear, thanks. Do you have to be on my head? Yeah. No, yeah. What happens if I stand here? Casper, you're so distracting. You're so handsome. Look how tall he is. I feel like a midget next to him. I'm sure he's grown. I don't know if that doesn't even do it justice. Like, he is actually a very big boy. God, I'm getting very distracted. You've managed to get a cut. How's he done this, guys? Hang on. Let me turn the camera around. How's he cut here? What have you done that on? You can't even have bitten yourself. I don't know. Anyway, let's concentrate. Sorry, I'm getting so distracted. But essentially I'm saying Casper was a very good boy. Really enjoyed. Nice local day out. But would like the judge to be a bit more critical next time. And see where we can improve the marks even more. She was very kind. She gave us a lot of 7s, 7.5s, a couple of 8s, I think, and then 9. So she was very nice, but it was all quite relative. Like Bronwyn was behind me on, I want to say, very similar marks. I can't remember if she got 72%. Can't remember, but she was definitely over 70% as well. So the judge was very kind to everyone, but I would have preferred it if they were just a bit lower and a bit more critical, because that's why we were there, is to gain dressage experience. I'm very scared you're going to bite my leg, big man. But yes, very happy. We were meant to be going clear round jumping last Wednesday, or Wednesday just gone. But that was cancelled because of the rain, and then we were going to go cross-country schooling with Cam on this Wednesday, and that's been cancelled because of the red heat warning, which means it's over 37 degrees, and I've said absolutely no way am I travelling Casper in that temperature, even though I've bought some fans for the trailer. It's just not happening. So we're going to try and go somewhere cross-country schooling on Saturday. Where? You got the fly? Okay. Try and go to probably up to Down Farm on Saturday, cross-country schooling instead. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the vlog. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and see you next time.